All right, welcome to today's episode of my VA disability claim. All we're doing is going through a denial letter, right? And we're going to show you how to respond to this denial letter based on what the VA said. Brought to you as always by the Carter Hughes Knowledge Institute, helpful veteran, available on the site, available on the channel. We got the course. When you get the course, you can reach out with questions. We got the guidebook as well, a bunch of different tools to kind of help you navigate this sometimes overwhelming process. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to use favorable findings from that denial letter to kind of help us decide how to respond to it. Right. It's all about the three elements in every denial letter. That's all we're looking for. Which of the three elements was the reason they denied it? It may be all three. It may be just one. But that's what we're trying to identify. So we go in with a clear approach, trying to identify, okay, which element was denied, and once we establish that, now how can we satisfy that element? So let's go right to the denial letter. Okay, here we are at that denial letter. Oh my goodness. We made it bigger, right? So now you can see it. On the last one, it was there, but it wasn't big enough for you to see. Now this one, we're gonna go ahead and zoom in. All right, they filed for a lower back condition. Claimant may file, okay, supplemental claim. This is what I would call a reconsideration, but they changed the title of the term, right? Supplemental claim. In order for you to get a supplemental claim, you have to present new and material evidence, right? You can either submit it or identify it. Like if it's already in your case file, but you feel the VA overlooked it, you can identify and say, hey, you need to check this particular record, and that would qualify to get that supplemental claim going for you. All right, we did not find a link between your medical condition and military service. Nexus, huh? The VA medical opinion, found no link between your diagnosed medical condition and military service. Okay, so you have a diagnosed condition. They're saying it's not related to military service. The evidence does not support a change in our prior decision. Therefore, we are confirming. So this one was denied before. The person sent it back up with something that was considered to be new and material. Okay, they got a DBQ, a VA exam. Yeah, so it looks like they've gone through the VA for this one, like the VA doctors. And that can, go either way for you. Favorable findings. So to this point, it was denied because they're saying there's no nexus. They're saying there's a current diagnosed condition. They haven't addressed the in-service event portion so far, but no nexus is what they're saying. Okay, favorable findings for this. Favorable findings. I'm not even reading. Favorable findings identified in this decision. Okay, the evidence shows that a qualifying event, injury, or disease had its. Okay, so they are conceding in-service event, and they're conceding medical diagnosis. That's why. So what's missing? The nexus. Right? That's all they're saying. They say you have two of them, you just don't have the third one. Will they come out and spell it out like that? Not necessarily, but you have to know it's three elements. They say, hey, evidence shows that a qualifying event, injury, or disease had its onset during your service. Service treatment records dated September 24th, 2017 show you were in a motor vehicle collision, also known as a car accident. So the car accident is the in-service event. You have been diagnosed with a disability. VA contracted examination dated February 14th, Valentine's Day. Okay, player, huh? A little Valentine's back injury. Confirms a diagnosis of lumbosacral strain with degenerative disc. So you have a diagnosis for the back, and you have the in-service event. All you're missing is the nexus. Remember that story? The story we're telling is, I have a current chronic disability, right? Chronic meaning is something I've been suffering from for a long time, and it happened because of the service. So we got to prove that it happened because of the service. VA says, yeah, you proved that. Now we got to prove that it's something we've been suffering from since we separated service all the way up until now. VA is saying you didn't prove that. You proved that you have a diagnosis. You proved there was an in-service event, but we don't see the connection. All right. So we would just take this and capture it on that denial evaluator letter. And then from there, since all we're missing is a nexus, so let's go to that denial letter evaluator. Okay, and here we are at that denial letter evaluator. This is a spreadsheet we use to kind of evaluate the claim and, look at next steps. So why was it denied? In-service event? Nope. Nexus. It was denied because of nexus. Current diagnosis was good. In-service event was good. VA said no nexus. Motor vehicle accident happened in service. That's the in-service event. And you have a current medical diagnosis, lumbosacral strain, something like that. That's a common one for the back, though, so keep that in mind. Okay, so what do I need to prove? Do I need to prove in-service? No. Do I need to prove nexus? Yes. Do I need to prove current diagnosis? No. So the recommended weapon for response would be the nexus letter, right? The what, why, how. What? Nexus letter. Why? Because the nexus can provide evidence. The nexus letter can confirm that you have been suffering from this condition since separation. And the nexus letter can also confirm that it's more likely than not that my current medical condition was caused by the in-service event. All right? That's why the nexus is a great instrument in this particular situation. How to get a nexus? Speak with your doctor, right? You can either write the letter for your doctor so you can make sure all those components are in there, or you can get your doctor to write it and then you kind of evaluate it to see how strong or how weak it is. If it's a weak letter, you got to go back to your doctor. Hey, look, doc, these are the main things that I need you to cover in this letter. All right, all we need to say is that I've been suffering from this condition since I separated service, and in your medical opinion, it's more likely than not related to that motor vehicle accident that I had in service. So again, you want to make sure you're speaking words that support your claim and don't undermine it, right? For your claim, not against your claim. Okay, so ultimately in this situation, the VA denied it, saying that there was no nexus. What is our recommended response? A nexus letter, clearly spelling out the chronicity, right? It's something I've been suffering from for a while, and the fact that it is more likely than not caused by a motor vehicle accident. That's it. Hey, trying to keep it short, trying to keep it simple. Learn the information, use the information. If you deem it to be valuable, share the information. There are literally millions of people in this country who can benefit from this information. Hey, that's it. 10 minutes or less. Have an incredible day, baby.